Listen to the ocean. We love to watch and listen to the ocean. The oceans of the world are vast. They are humongous. Look at our Earth. Most of our Earth is covered with water. In fact, over 72% of the Earth is covered with water called oceans and seas. The oceans are very salty. There are 5 major oceans of the world, and although these oceans are all connected, they each have a different name. They are the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Southern Ocean, also called the Antarctic Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean.
Every year, over 8 million tons of plastic waste end up in our oceans. That's the equivalent of one garbage truck of plastic being dumped into the ocean every minute. From the deepest ocean trenches to the most remote islands, plastic pollution is everywhere. It doesn't just affect the environment, it harms wildlife, disrupts ecosystems, and even ends up in the food chain. Microplastics and mega and macroplastics are the 3 main types of plastic that lead to plastic pollution.
The journey of plastic waste often starts in our homes, businesses, and cities. Every piece of plastic we discard can become part of this journey. A plastic bag carelessly discarded on the street can have far-reaching consequences. Rain or wind carries this bag into storm drains and local waterways. It eventually makes its way to the ocean, joining millions of other pieces of plastic waste. Poor waste management practices exacerbate the problem. Wind can blow plastic from landfills into rivers or the ocean. Plastic pellets used in manufacturing often escape into the environment, contributing to the plastic debris problem. Single-use plastics like bags, bottles, and straws are major culprits. These items are used for just a few minutes but persist in the environment for hundreds of years. They break down into microplastics which are ingested by marine life, entering the food chain. Simple changes like using reusable bags and containers can significantly reduce our contribution to the problem. By making conscious choices, we can help protect our oceans from plastic pollution. Rivers act as arteries, carrying pollutants from inland areas to the ocean. They pick up plastic litter discarded along their banks. Once plastic enters a river, it can travel long distances before reaching the ocean. This journey makes rivers significant contributors to ocean plastic pollution. The Yangtze, a case study in plastic pollution. The Yangtze River, one of the longest rivers in the world, is a major source of ocean plastic pollution. Stretching over 6,300 kilometers, it carries significant plastic waste into the East China Sea. Rapid industrialization and urbanization along its banks have led to increased plastic production and consumption. This plastic pollution has severe consequences for marine life in the East China Sea and beyond. 6 ocean-based activities adding fuel to the fire. Fishing, shipping, and offshore operations contribute significantly to ocean plastic pollution. Lost fishing gear, often called ghost gear, and shipping containers release vast amounts of plastic into the sea. Cruise ships, with their massive operations, discharge plastic waste directly into the ocean, exacerbating the problem. Addressing this issue requires international cooperation and the implementation of stricter regulations to protect our oceans.
The Great Pacific Garbage Patch illustrates the effects that we as humans have had on the marine environment. Located in the northern Pacific Ocean and the largest of 5 garbage patches, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is the product of tons of debris which have made their way into the ocean from lakes, rivers, and streams. The garbage caught in this patch is unable to escape, caught in a vortex created by ocean currents. The patch, more than 3 times the size of Texas, spans from the coast of Japan all the way to Hawaii and even to California.
Sadly, our oceans are in danger. The vast blue waters that once teemed with life are now becoming a graveyard of plastic waste. We are polluting them with plastic. From single-use bottles to discarded fishing nets, the debris is everywhere. Every year, tons of plastic end up in the sea. These massive garbage patches are growing, creating islands of waste that stretch for miles. Plastic takes a very long time to break down. Unlike organic materials, plastic doesn't decompose quickly. It stays in the ocean for hundreds of years. Over time, it breaks into smaller pieces called microplastics, which are even more insidious. This plastic is harming marine life. Fish, turtles, and other sea creatures are getting caught in the debris. Animals get tangled in plastic litter. They struggle to swim, feed, and sometimes even breathe. They mistake plastic for food and eat it. This makes them sick. The ingested plastic can cause internal injuries, blockages, and even death. We must act now to save our oceans. By reducing our plastic use, participating in cleanup efforts, and supporting policies that protect marine environments, we can make a difference. Imagine a sea turtle caught in a plastic fishing net. It cannot break free. The net wraps around its flippers and neck, restricting its movement and causing immense stress. The turtle struggles, but the more it fights, the tighter the net becomes. It cannot swim to the surface for air. Every breath becomes a battle, and the turtle's energy depletes rapidly. The surface, which once seemed so close, now feels like an impossible distance away. Sadly, this happens all too often. Marine animals, from the smallest fish to the largest whales, find themselves ensnared in plastic debris. The ocean, their home, becomes a dangerous trap. Plastic ropes and bags pose a similar threat. Marine animals get entangled. They get injured. The sharp edges of plastic can cut into their skin, causing infections and severe wounds that are often fatal. They are not able to find food or escape from predators. The entanglement hinders their ability to hunt or forage, leading to starvation. Predators, sensing their vulnerability, close in, making survival even more difficult. This leads to suffering and death. The once vibrant and thriving marine life is now at risk, with countless creatures perishing due to our plastic waste. The ocean's delicate balance is disrupted, and the consequences are dire for all marine inhabitants. The journey of microplastics up the food chain is a story of accumulation and danger. Microscopic plankton, the base of the marine food web, ingest these tiny plastic particles. Small fish then consume the plankton, ingesting the accumulated microplastics. These fish are in turn eaten by larger predators, further concentrating the plastic up the food chain. This process continues until it reaches top predators, including humans. We consume seafood contaminated with microplastics, unknowingly ingesting these tiny pieces of plastic. This raises serious concerns about the potential health risks we face from this invisible threat. Studies have shown that microplastics are present in a wide range of seafood, including fish, shellfish, and even sea salt. This means that we are all potentially exposed to these particles through our diet. Microplastics are more than just tiny pieces of plastic. They act like sponges, absorbing harmful pollutants present in the ocean. These pollutants include persistent organic pollutants, heavy metals, and other industrial chemicals. These toxic chemicals can have serious health effects. They can disrupt hormones, impair reproduction, and even increase the risk of certain cancers. When we consume seafood contaminated with microplastics, we are also ingesting these harmful chemicals. This raises concerns about the long-term impacts on our health, particularly for vulnerable groups like pregnant women and children. Research into the health effects of microplastics is ongoing. However, the evidence so far suggests that these tiny particles pose a significant threat to both marine life and human health. Imagine a world where supermarkets offer refill stations for everyday essentials, where innovative biodegradable alternatives replace plastic packaging. Picture bustling markets with goods stored in reusable containers, a return to a simpler, more sustainable way of life. This future is within our grasp. By supporting businesses that prioritize sustainable practices and demanding change from those who don't, we can drive a powerful market shift. Governments and corporations must enact legislation that bans single-use plastics and incentivizes eco-friendly alternatives. The transition won't be easy, but it is absolutely essential. We must remember that every piece of plastic we refuse, every sustainable choice we make, is a victory for our oceans. Together, let us stem the tide of plastic at its source and embark on a path toward a cleaner, healthier future. While we work to stop the flow of plastic into our oceans, we must also address the immense task of cleaning up the damage that's already been done. Community-driven coastal cleanups, where individuals from all walks of life come together, are vital. Every piece of plastic removed represents a step towards recovery. Imagine the sense of accomplishment as we heal our oceans one piece at a time. Reimagining our relationship with plastic from a linear model to a closed-loop system is transformative. Advanced recycling technologies break down plastic waste, creating a closed-loop system. Investing in these technologies is crucial for sustainable production and consumption. We have one planet, one vast and interconnected biosphere that sustains us all. The health of our oceans is inextricably linked to our own well-being. Our oceans don't need our pity, they need our action. This is a call to action, a plea for unity and a commitment to change. Join the movement, embrace the change. Together we can turn the tide on ocean plastic pollution and ensure a healthy future for generations to come.